Hello children, last time we learned a particular concept from the chapter Nationalism in India from history, and today and in this video we will learn about a different concept, and the concept goes like this: limitations of civil disobedience movement. As you know, the civil disobedience movement started with the Salt March by Gandhiji, and though this movement was completely different, or from it was different from your non-cooperation movement, and we learned about the different aspects of civil disobedience movement and Gandhiji's Salt March. In between, Gandhiji postponed or called off the civil disobedience movement to go to London to attend second roundtable conference. But you know, children, in previous year board question papers, the question was also asked about what were the limitations of civil disobedience movement. So if you get this kind of question, and what are the drawbacks, okay, and so that the civil disobedience movement was not that impactful, there were some loopholes. So for this question, the points I have mentioned here in short. Point number one, it says depressed classes were ignored by the Congress. Point number two, gap widened between Hindu and Muslim communities. Point number three, Muslim League demanded for separate electorates for the Muslims. Point number four, Muslim leaders proposed a two-nation theory. And the last point is industrial workers did not participate except in Nagpur region. So these 5 points in short I have mentioned here, and let us see what does it mean by depressed class were ignored. Depressed classes were basically the Dalits, the downtrodden people in the society, and Congress ignored the Dalits for fear of offending conservative Hindu, high caste Hindus. And if Congress supported, or Congress was with the depressed class initially, definitely Congress would have lost the support of the high class Hindus. In order to not offend high caste Hindus, Congress did not take depressed class people along with in this movement. So B.R. Ambedkar organized Dalits, and he formed an association called Depressed Class Association to fight for the rights of the depressed classes people, or for the Dalits. So gradually in second roundtable conference there was a clash between Gandhiji and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, because B.R. Ambedkar demanded for separate electorate for Dalits. Some representatives were elected those days during the British time to central legislature. So here separate electorates means the Muslim, or for example, a Muslim leader will be voted or chosen by only Muslim community. A Dalit leader would be chosen by Dalit community or Dalit people. So that is what is not practiced now when we elect representatives today in India. So this is not separate electorate, this is a general electorate. All the voters are voting for the candidate, irrespective of caste or religion. So this is the first point. Depressed classes were ignored because Congress felt that if Congress gives so much importance to the Dalits, so then Congress will lose the support of the high caste Hindus. So Congress was close to high caste Hindus to get their support. So for that reason, depressed classes felt that they were not supported by Congress. Point number 2, it says gap widened between Hindu and Muslim communities. During non-cooperation movement, which started in January 1921, the Khilafat issue was also important issue. Because of the Khilafat issue, Muslims supported the non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation movement and Khilafat movement together were launched, with the support of combined efforts of Hindus and Muslims. But what happened in mid-1920s, Congress came very close to some Hindu religious organizations like Hindu Mahasabha. Because of that, the large section of Muslims, they started keeping gap. They did not want to join Congress. They did not want to participate actively in Congress because the Congress was very close to Hindu Mahasabha. That's why there was a gap, or the gap was already there. The gap widened again between Hindu and Muslim communities. Point number 3 says Muslim League demanded for separate electorates for the Muslims. I have already told that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar also demanded for separate electorates to elect representatives from Dalit community. Here, Muslim League, the leaders demanded that in order to give importance to the Muslim community, for the betterment of Muslim community, the representatives would be elected separately by Muslim voters only. That's what called separate electorates. So they demanded for that because they felt, the Muslim leaders felt that the minorities like Muslims would be submerged under the domination of Hindu majority. Hindus were majority, so they felt that they will be dominated by the Muslims will be dominated by the Hindu majority, and for that reason the Muslim leaders had to be chosen by Muslim voters only. Point number 4 says not only separate electorates, demand of a separate electorates, but the Muslim leaders, those who are part of the Muslim League organization, which was formed in 1920, the Muslim leaders, and they gave the idea of Muhammad Iqbal, gave the idea of a two-nation theory. What does it mean? So they felt that both communities, Hindus and Muslims, belong to two separate nations. They gave the idea of creating two nations for Hindus and for Muslims separately. And for that reason, so during the civil disobedience movement, when all these things were going on, the gap widened between Hindus and Muslims, there was a demand for separate electorate for Muslims. They felt that Hindu majority would not be suitable for the welfare of Muslim community. Similarly, the Dalits or the depressed class people also felt the same thing. Because of that, the participation in the civil disobedience, like Muslims, depressed class people, did not participate in large numbers, did not participate actively. The last point says industrial workers did not participate except in Nagpur region. First thing, industrial workers did not participate in large numbers. Only in Nagpur region, industrial workers, some workers participated during the civil disobedience movement. But what was the reason? During that time, Congress was supported this movement, the civil disobedience movement, took up by the Congress leaders or led by Congress leaders, and they got support of industrialists. Industrialists were supporting actively this civil disobedience movement. Because of industrialists' participation, Congress did not like to take the demands of the workers as part of the movement. That's why the industrial workers felt that they were not taken consideration, they were not given importance by the Congress. So a large number of industrial workers did not participate in the civil disobedience movement. So children, the question may be asked, like, what were the limitations, what were the drawbacks of civil disobedience movement? Did people from all categories, all sections of society participate in large number or participate actively? Obviously, the answer is no. For that, we need to write all these points. What was the situation that time when the civil disobedience movement was launched with Salt March, Gandhiji's Salt March, defying salt law? So for this question, a limitation of civil disobedience movement, these 5 points you are supposed to mention. So in short, I have mentioned, but for each point, as per your understanding, your capacity, you can mention 1 or 2 more lines. So point number 1 says depressed classes or Dalits were ignored by the Congress. That is one reason. Another reason, the gap gradually widened between the Hindu and Muslim communities after non-cooperation movement in mid 1920s. Then point number 3, Muslim League, you can see led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, demanded for separate electorates for the Muslims. Separate Muslim voters will be electing Muslim representative. So, and at the same time, other Muslim leaders, including Muhammad Iqbal, proposed a theory of 2 nations. They felt that Hindu Muslims cannot live together, so 2 nations had to be created. So this was a hint of creating Pakistan. So from this hint, we come to know that they wanted to create a new nation called Pakistan. So number 5, children, you can mention the last point. Industrial workers did not participate in large numbers. The reason was industrialists those days supported the Congress during the civil disobedience movement. And Congress was very close to, or the industrialists were close to Congress leaders. And Congress leaders also did not take much interest towards the workers' demands. They did not take workers' demand as part of this movement. So because of all these reasons, 5 reasons, civil disobedience movement was not participated by all sections of people in Indian society. So that's all for this particular concept, this particular question. I hope children you have understood the concept, and this would definitely help you to prepare for your board examination. And children, do not forget to like the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much, children. Bye.